But what is your question?
I was wondering if you find it difficult for celebrities to talk about their sexuality.
I don't find it difficult for celebrities to talk about their sexuality. Are you asking me about my sexuality?
Some reporters, let's face it, are just there to stir the pot, push buttons, and chase those sweet, sweet views. But thankfully, some of our favorite celebrities know exactly how to handle these agenda-driven interviewers, and they're not afraid to say it right to their faces.
And I have no interest in gender or race or anything like that, but everyone else is kind of with their little calculating, is this the exact right mix?
Oh man, what a bold response. Honestly, like there is always this one interviewer who throws a controversial, politically charged, or just simply irrelevant question, all to create some new headlines and spike their viewership. Because of course, nothing gets more clicks than a celebrity squirming. Most celebrities, understandably, tiptoe around these traps. They often try to say the right thing to avoid backlash or misrepresentation. But there are a few bold legends who don't waste time with that nonsense. They legit call it out head on. And honestly, it's absolutely satisfying to watch.
Darn. I don't know everyone.
But they say you're not a hugger now.
Today, we're diving into some of the most iconic moments where celebrities shut down agenda-driven interviewers to their faces. First up, we have that unforgettable moment when Denzel Washington appeared on Karen Hunter's Sirius XM Urban View show to promote the 2016 film Fences. Karen asked him about race relations, expecting some sensational soundbite. Instead, Denzel's response was nothing short of profound.
Why did he need a black director? Could a white director not have?
It's not color, it's culture.
His calm, measured reply, "It's not color, it's culture," instantly threw Karen off balance. She literally stumbled as she tried to steer the conversation back. Denzel Washington is a master when it comes to cutting through biased or agenda-driven questions with calm, precision, and wisdom. He broke down his perspective even further, providing a clear and insightful explanation.
Martin Scorsese did Goodfellas, right? Steven Spielberg could direct Goodfellas. Martin Scorsese probably could have done a good job with Schindler's List.
Denzel Washington has been in countless interviews where reporters have tried to dig deep into race-related topics, perhaps assuming they could catch him in a misstep. But Denzel's approach is always rooted in clear logic, and that's how no one could ever box him into any wrong narrative. But Jerry Seinfeld doesn't exactly match Denzel Washington's calm when it comes to handling agenda-driven questions. Take, for example, the time he was questioned about the lack of racial diversity on his iconic sitcom Seinfeld. The question clearly rubbed him the wrong way, and his irritation was visible.
I have noticed that most of the guests are mostly white males.
Oh, this really pisses me off, but go ahead. Really pisses me off.
Not the one to hold back, Seinfeld gave the interviewer a taste of his own medicine right away.
People think it's the census or something? I mean, this has got to represent the actual pie chart of America. Who cares?
He then went on to reject the notion that race or gender should ever dictate casting decisions, questioning why a show like Seinfeld should be expected to perfectly mirror society's racial demographics. For Seinfeld, the show was about one thing: making people laugh, nothing more, nothing less.
And I have no interest in gender or race or anything like that.
Seinfeld wasn't shy about shutting down this critique, while making his point clear that the focus was always on humor, not ticking off demographic boxes. After racism, one of the most frequent topics that the manipulative interviewers love to bring up is gender equality. They often push celebrities into awkward positions, making them dance around tough questions. But not Bill Burr. When he was asked if women can be funny, his response was nothing short of mind-blowing.
If you guys had your own big club and I was standing outside of it, you'd never let me in. I'd start my own. You guys got to start your own. You got brains in there, right?
We agree with him, man. It's about doing the work and letting the results speak for themselves. The undefeated force in UFC, Ronda Rousey, was also put in a similar situation during a press conference ahead of her fight at UFC 193. A reporter referenced her earlier remarks on The Ellen Show, where she declared herself the highest-paid fighter in the UFC.
And we heard you say on The Ellen Show the other day you are the richest fighter in UFC, that sort of thing is still going on.
The question aimed to draw parallels between her achievements and the ongoing conversation around pay equality in sports.
We've got quite a large pay dispute happening with our Australian women's soccer team at the moment.
Rousey, with her characteristic poise and confidence, delivered a response as sharp as her strikes in the octagon. She firmly dismissed the notion that her success was tied to her gender, also emphasizing that her pay was reflective of the value she brought to the UFC.
Have something to do with how much money you bring in. I'm the highest paid fighter, not because Dana and Lorenzo wanted to do something nice for the ladies.
Ronda made it clear she earned her spot at the top not because of her gender, but because of her ability to draw crowds and deliver results. Pay in sports, just like anywhere else, is about value and not about gender. Another controversial interview topic that often sparks heated exchanges is questioning celebrities about their views on gender identity. One of the most intense moments in press conference history occurred when UFC middleweight champion Sean Strickland was grilled about his controversial comments on LGBTQ+ issues. Instead of dodging the question, Strickland turned the tables, delivering an unfiltered response that left the room stunned. At one point, Strickland lashed out, calling out the reporter, "You are an infection."
You are an infection. You are the definition of weakness. Everything that is wrong with the world is because of...
The reporter absolutely earned Strickland's fiery response after relentlessly pressing him. His outburst was unapologetic and raw. He doesn't fear and doesn't care to sugarcoat his point.
And the best thing is the world's not buying it. The world's not buying your you're peddling. The world is not saying, you know what, you're right.
After making his stands known, Strickland clarified that he wasn't opposed to LGBTQ+ rights, but drew a firm line when it came to teaching gender identity concepts in schools. What do you think? Who had the most epic response? Denzel Washington's humble takedown, Bill Burr's savage comebacks, or Sean Strickland's no-holds-barred response? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get a debate going. If you enjoyed these powerful moments, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for more entertaining content you won't find anywhere else.